You are listening to the weekly wrap up episode 1 for the week March 12 to March 18, presented by Pod Club of I Am Jammu, bringing you all you need to know from all the things that have happened. It was truly a historic beginning to the week for India as it celebrated two big wins at the Oscars. RRR's MM Kiravani and Chandra Bose for Best Original Song Natu Natu and The Elephant Whisperers for Best Documentary Short. Both won at the 95th Annual Academy Awards. The Natu Natu live performance, introduced by Deepika Padukone, earned a standing ovation from the audience. Only disappointment was All That Breathes losing out to Navalny in Best Documentary Feature category. Everything Everywhere All at Once won in 7 categories including Best Film, Screenplay, Director, Supporting Actor, Michelle Yeoh for Best Actress. Best Actor went to Brendan Fraser for his performance in movie Whale. Every award ceremony deserves a chaotic after party, and that is what the Indian Parliament has been this week. Second part of the budget session started on Monday has remained stormy throughout the week, with government demanding apology from a prominent opposition leader for his comments on state of democracy in India on foreign soil. The opposition has taken a united stand and have responded with their own demands. In some nostalgic news, an increase in COVID 19 cases has been reported along with the seasonal flu. In the letter sent on Thursday, the Union Health Secretary has written to 6 states Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, and Gujarat, which account for most of the new cases, asking them to take necessary steps. He has also asked the states to take steps to promote precautionary doses and ensure people follow COVID appropriate behavior. Hold on to your pockets for the next one, as India's consumer price index in February stood at 6.44%, staying above the tolerance level of the Reserve Bank of India for the second consecutive month. The CPI inflation remained above the RBI's tolerance of 2 to 6% for the second consecutive month. On Monday, the Supreme Court referred positions seeking legal recognition of marriage between same-sex couples to be heard and decided by 5-judge Constitution bench from next month. Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud, heading a 3-judge bench before which the petitions came, said the court was of the view that the submissions on the issue involved the interplay between constitutional rights and specific legislative enactments, including the Special Marriage Act. Moving on to international news, the USA has finally announced its ambassador to India, Eric Garcetti. Former Los Angeles mayor got the job over 2.5 years after his name was first announced for the post. He is a former mayor of Los Angeles, second largest US city. Garcetti's path to New Delhi was all but decided last week when the US Senate adopted a closure motion on it. A closure motion is adopted when the matter at hand has the support of a supermajority. Now let's delve into the next episode of everyday fight between two siblings, US and Russia. A Russian fighter jet on Tuesday struck the propeller of a US drone over the Black Sea, causing US forces to bring it down in international waters. The US said in a statement that 2 Russian fighter jets conducted an unsafe and unprofessional intercept of a US drone that was operating within the international airspace over the Black Sea. On to sports news now. The last of the Border Gavaskar Trophy ended in a dull draw at Ahmedabad as India won the trophy for fourth consecutive time, 2 at home and 2 in Australia, with margin being 2-1 every time. Virat Kohli, who ended his more than 3-year-long Test century drought in the match, was named Player of the Match, and spin duo Ravichandran Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja were named Joint Player of the Series. Also not overlooking our national game, Indian hockey team remained unbeaten against Australia and Germany in FIH Pro League held in Rourkela. India defeated both the teams twice each. India has never gone on such a run against top teams in recent times, especially considering the disastrous World Cup a few months back. Although 3 teams had not fielded the strongest teams, but experts feel these wins could do India's team confidence a lot of good. Moving to some news from business world, India and the US on Friday signed a pact on setting up a semiconductor supply chain and innovation partnership and established a semiconductor subcommittee under the framework of the India-US commercial dialogue, revived after 3 years. In a major boost to the Make in India program, Foxconn Technology Group is working out modalities to set up a plant in India to assemble Apple AirPods. Talks around whether to set up the unit in Telangana or Karnataka. The investment is likely at around $200 million. In a major development, Life Insurance Corporation said it has elevated Tablesh Pandey, executive director of the company, as its managing director. His appointment is effective from April 1, 2023, according to a regulatory filing. Pandey will replace present managing director BC Patnaik. In another major shakeup, Tata Consultancy Services announced in a regulatory filing that Rajesh Gopinathan, its chief executive officer, has resigned. He is succeeded by K. Krithivasan, who was named CEO designate. Gopinathan had completed 6 years as CEO before leaving. The move comes at a time when the Indian IT industry is dealing with a challenging macroeconomic environment in its key markets, the US and
So,
Europe.
thanks for the weekly wrap up, Varun. Now we'll be covering a very interesting, very much in the limelight, the Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Which companies have exposure to the failed US bank, and what do we know so far? So, about the bank, Silicon Valley Bank. It was bank to over 2,500 venture capital firms, which includes the likes of Lightspeed, Bain Capital, and Insight Partners. The fall of Silicon Valley Bank has brought back memories of the disastrous financial crisis of 2008. The SVB is the second biggest US financial institution to have failed in the history. Now, failed bank had approximately 209.0 billion in total assets and about 175.4 billion in total deposits as of December 31, 2022. The tech lender's collapse has left several startups and tech firms in the US, globally, and also in India, which has exposure to SVB's investment, worried about their funds. As per recent data from market intelligence platform, which is Jackson, SVB had exposure in at least 21 startups in India. The size of investments and exact details of these startups are not mentioned, but SVB is the bank to over 2,500 venture capital firms, and it managed about the personal wealth of the several tech executives too. Companies who are known to have money deposited in the bank were video streaming giant Roku, ComScience, Ambarella, Roblox, which is a very fun game to play, Vimeo, a video streaming platform. These are the famous names out of those. California regulator which shut down the Silicon Valley Bank has all insured depositors will have full access to their insured deposit no later than Monday, which is March 13, 2023. Deposits of up to 250,000 were insured by the regulator. Beyond that, customers receive no information on when they will regain their access to the money. This was the report. The regulators have put SVB under control of US Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which is FDIC. This is acting as a receiver. This typically means that it will liquidate SVB's assets to pay back its customers, including depositors and creditors. Uninsured depositors will be paid an advance dividend of FDIC within the next week. They will receive a receivership certificate for the remainder of the uninsured funds. Future dividend payments will be made to these uninsured depositors as FDIC sells SVB's assets. Thank you.